We have Blythe on the line too, as Michael Vincent was giving a little bit more context to the trucking market. Blythe is the owner at Digital Dispatch, and one thing she does is put context and marketing together for the freight market and for her clients. Blythe, we're so happy you joined us on the air today.
Thank you for having me. I did listen to my voicemail play over the live show just now.
Yeah, it's quick and to the point, though. It's quick and sends you right where you need to go.
That's where in marketing, that's what you're trying to do, right?
Hey, before you came on, we were talking about someone called on radio. They said no one had been going to carnivals, but you yourself, you went right over to Disney the second they opened. Give us a report from the Magic Kingdom.
Oh my gosh, yes, I was one of those crazy people who decided to go the week of the annual pass holder preview opening, and it was one of the best park days that I've ever had. It was super low capacity. Everybody was following the mask protocols. Barely any wait time for any of the rides. I rode things that I have never rode in my life, and I've been going to Disney for my entire childhood.
Wow. So was it just the Magic Kingdom, or you go to all the other different parks?
I only went to Magic Kingdom because at the time they were holding the safety qualifications where you could only make a reservation for one park at a time. Now they've opened it up a little bit to where you can make future reservations, but you can still only go to one park per day. You can't do the park hopper where you go to 4 parks in one day or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Good stuff. Well, hey, when I was talking to you earlier, you said, "Hey, I really liked the topic you did on the rise of education," and you're working on something called School Playbook. What is that all about?
It's actually a tool and a resource for other small business owners, other marketers out there, overwhelmed marketing departments or executives to be able to access tools and courses to be able to make edits to their website, learn about podcasting, how to get started in it, in-house video, which is one of the more powerful things that I've seen some of these other content creators in the logistics space take advantage of. But it's just basically offering a resource for other companies to get their feet wet when it comes to their website and their marketing. Basically, a lot of budgets are strapped, and marketing is usually the first to go whenever budgets are strapped. But this is a resource for other companies out there to be able to take care of those things internally and still have the advantages of what a lot of these bigger companies are doing.
Blythe, how would you advise a company like TQL? We talked about them in our earlier headlines. They're having an issue with another outbreak of COVID within their offices. Employees have been struggling to be able to work from home. In fact, they had to fire 700 of them, claiming that their virtual network for working from home didn't support that many people. They're having some troubles getting good messaging out there. What do you tell clients like that who may have damaged messaging or who just want to get out there and improve their messaging?
I think you have to get in front of it as much as possible. And there are specialty firms, PR firms that specialize in crisis management. But for one of those situations, you have to really, especially the executive team, my old boss used to always say, the fish stinks at the head. And if you don't have your executive front and center explaining what's going on and how they're trying to solve those problems, then you have a major struggle within the company. And I think that speaks to more of your internal culture than the workers actually working for you.
Yeah, that's a solid point, Blythe. And when you're going through this playbook, what is it called? Freightschoolplaybook.com. But also, does this talk to more of the small business basics, contract writing, that type of stuff, or even say those who have been out of work or laid off, et cetera, that don't want to invent themselves again or create something new? Does it cover those type of topics?
Absolutely. Right at this point in time, we haven't launched officially yet, hoping to launch as the name says, by football season. But those are all courses that we're going to be adding into the platform itself. I am a small business owner. I come from that background. I want to speak to those small business owners and understand that they're wearing lots of hats and they need to be able to address different situations within their business all at the same time, sometimes multiple times per day. So those are the people that I'm going to be speaking to with that platform in particular. Those courses are all coming, but it's just a situation where I didn't want to overwhelm people too much and, get in there and see, there's 100 courses you got to take. Psychologically, that tends to have a negative effect on people where they feel like they almost have too much to learn and then they just get exhausted and just, keep going about their daily business. But yes, courses like that are well on their way.
Yeah, you have to learn each aspect of these discipline, especially if you're doing it sort of on a personal branding level. Instead of trying to attack the market, trying to hit every corner at once, you will very quickly overwhelm yourself. And my other advice is you shouldn't compare to some of the already established people out there, because a lot of them have had to take a very long crawl and you're just starting out. So don't get discouraged by those kind of things. But it's cool you're offering that service because, as we mentioned, TQL fires 700 people. The airline's firing a lot of people, with a lot of brokerages getting rid of people. I mean, almost every single company had to get a little bit lean during this time. A lot of people on unemployment. What are some advice you could give to the people who are going out there looking for jobs, and for the companies who are looking to grow again and bring people back in?
I think it's going to be extremely important to find a culture that fits you. There was a piece of advice that I heard recently that if you are actively looking for a job and you want to find out if a place is going to be a great fit for where you're going to be working, you want to ask whoever you're interviewing with, what was somebody that outshined your expectations, and how did they overcome certain obstacles? Because then that manager will tell you what they value. They will tell you, oh, well, this person came in early, they stayed late, they worked extra hours. And that can reveal a lot about that company, that maybe that's not really a good fit, or maybe they'll reveal something else that makes you feel like they're a really good fit. So I think it's all about just recognizing, during all of COVID, we sort of had, to get back to basics and figure out, what do you really want out of life? What do you really want out of a job? And this is a situation where you can take that perspective into your next career. And so I think asking important questions like that about your future employer will really go dividends. And then as far as the employers who are looking for employees, I mean, I think there's a wealth of knowledge and content that's out there now. I mean, you look at LinkedIn, people are posting videos and content every single day. And that's such a wealth of knowledge that you can find out more about your potential applicant before they ever apply. So you can actively be doing recruiting there as well.
Blythe, you are braver and bolder than me. I was supposed to go to Disney in March of this year. It got postponed to September, got postponed again until next year. So I think the closest I may get is that Lego Magic Kingdom, which is really pretty in and of itself. But Blythe, how do people reach out and learn more from you?
Oh, you can always find me on LinkedIn. I'm at Blythe Brum, BLYTHEBRUM, and on also most social media networks. And then if you just wanted to learn more about me or Freight School Playbook, you can just hit up FreightSchoolPlaybook.com. We have a nice waiting list for people who are interested in joining the platform there.
Oh, and Zachary Ramirez, he's going to be our guest in a little bit, but he said, love that Blythe touched on the power of video marketing. That is 100% an untapped tool in our industry. If you want to tap into it, contact Blythe. Blythe, thank you so much for picking up the phone. And I'm glad I got to hear your voicemail. It was very lovely. Thank you so much today.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Blythe.